What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another character rank up video. And as you can see from the screen here, it is going to be Stryfe that we're going to be ranking up today. So here we have the clone of Cable. I finally have all of the X-Men here, or mutants I guess we could call them, at tier 2, so that means I can finally unlock Stryfe. I just got Phantom X tier 2 today. He was the last one that I needed out of the group here. So yeah, let's go ahead and acquire Stryfe. Alright, boom, there we go. Character found. So we'll be ranking up Stryfe now, but as of recording this intro right here, I am going to be working on a Deadpool before I get around to Stryfe, because I do plan to tier 3 Deadpool before I put too many resources into Stryfe, unless for some reason I decide otherwise, which I'm not sure I will, so you'll probably be seeing this video after a tier 3 Deadpool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut to me burning through all of my materials as I get them to rank Stryfe up, and then we're gonna do some gameplay with him and take it from there. So let's go ahead and get into the rank up. Alright, so here is Stryfe all finished up, so let's go ahead and take a look at him before we jump into some of the gameplay. For his details here, we do have the main things maxed out, the ignore defense and skill cooldown. Everything else is just pretty average right now. And then for his gears, we do have his gears maxed out, so I did go ahead and do that before jumping into some of the gameplay here. And as you can see, we only have ignore defense Uru on him, and that was just to get him to the max ignore defense, because I wanted to have that maxed out for the World Boss Ultimate fights. And for his skills here, we have the third skill fully leveled up for the guard against hits, and then also the all attack, all speed, and crit rate increase is nice. The fourth skill we just have leveled up because of that shock damage, which isn't really going to affect the world bosses, but it will affect timeline and or PvP and like Shadowland content. So I have that leveled up just because. I don't think, yeah, nothing leveled up here from this one, because I don't think I looked at this after finishing his, or after getting into 6 stars. Yeah, so those are the only skills that we really need to level up. For his Isolate set, all I did is activate it. We just have Power the Angry Hulk. I do like having an offensive set on him because he seems just like a kind of copy-paste of Cable. He's a glass cannon, so he can't really take a hit, so going defensive on him isn't really a good idea, because even if you do go defensive on him, it doesn't really help too much because he just dies so quickly from a few hits. So anyway, we have Power the Angry Hulk, and like I said, all I did is just activate the set, so nothing special there. And then I did go ahead and give him a 200% damage proc, and that's the only thing that this obelisk is giving him, because the the immunity to snare isn't going to do anything for him. The fire resist, again, isn't going to do anything for him. I just had this obelisk laying around. I didn't really want to trash it just because it was a 200% proc, so waiting for someone kind of like Stryfe here that has native super armor, or you can't really get guard broken, to give this obelisk to. So that's why I decided to give it to him right now, just to kind of test him out a little bit with a max damage proc, because like I said, this obelisk isn't too great, so I don't mind re-rolling it or having it being overridden, because the 200% proc is the only thing I'm using it for. But the 200% proc is really nice, so don't get me wrong there. I definitely like having that 200% proc, so this might be the obelisk that he just stays with, because yeah, I've already done the gameplay that you're about to see right now, so as you will see, I'm not overly excited about him. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into the gameplay now so I can talk about that and show you what I mean. Alright, here we go for the first fight. We're fighting Cole Obsidian, and we're doing stage 29. We're going to be using this team here, so we have Ebony for the leadership and also his passive, so we get overall a 60% energy attack increase, and then Valkyrie for her tier 2 passive. So basically the skill rotation that we're going to be using for Stryfe here is we're going to use the 5th skill for the invincibility. We're going to let it play out for most of the animation there, so right when he does kind of like the punch or finishes making contact with the ground with his fist there, we are going to cancel 4 and 2 and then hop right into 3. So we're going to instantly cancel 4 and 2. And then 3 is where we're going to get all of our damage, and that's going to be the channeling skill. So pretty much the exact same thing as Cable. Cable, you kind of cancel out 3 skills as well, and then you hop into Cable's 5th skill for his channeling skill, which is going to be the bulk of the damage. The only thing that's different really about Stryfe here is that the channeling skill does allow you to move around, and it is one that will expire on its own, so it's not one that you can channel indefinitely. So that's a little bit different, but overall, not too bad. His damage is really good. Still a little bit less than Cable. Well, I guess Cable with the uniform. I didn't really try Cable without the uniform, but Cable with his uniform was clearing these World Boss Ultimate stages quite a bit faster than Stryfe here, about a minute and maybe 30 seconds faster, a minute and 15 seconds faster. But the difference is that, yes, Cable has his uniform, and then also on Cable I do have a CTP of energy, so he is going to be getting a little bit more damage than Stryfe here, which only has that 200% damage proc. And then also I believe I worked a little bit more on Cable, so I think I have like some legendary Uru on him and stuff like that. But anyway, as you can see, Stryfe is getting through this, but it is quite slow of a clear, and you do have to be very, very careful with his skill rotation and making sure that you are moving around while using the 3rd skill, his when you have the damage proc, because taking even one hit from Cole here is, yeah, it's gonna mean death. So he is literally a glass cannon. Like, he can barely take like 2 hits. So like one hit and you're pretty much almost out of the game. But anyway, there's gonna be Cole, stage 29. So now we're hopping into Corvus here, and we're gonna be doing the oh, I did use Star-Lord this time for some reason. But anyway, we have pretty much the same setup. We have Valkyrie for her passive here, and this is going to be stage 30 for Corvus here, so pretty similar, except this time around we're going to have some dodge ignore strikers. Actually all of them except for one are going to be dodge ignore. No, we have anti-venom here for the healing in case we need it, whereas when we're fighting Cole we had pretty much all damage strikers. So that's pretty much the only difference. We're going to be doing the exact same skill rotation, and then as you can see, just trying to avoid Corvus's attacks. And again, his damage is nice, but it doesn't still compete with some of the top kind of damage dealers like Cable, Scarlet Witch, pretty much any of the tier 3 characters. Well, actually he's on par with some of the lower DPS tier 3 characters like Ant-Man and who's the other one I'm trying to think of that has lower damage right now? I don't know, I'm blanking right there, but I'm pretty sure there was one other tier 3 character that the damage wasn't quite as impressive. He's probably similar to Spider-Man tier 3 with the Infinity War uniform in terms of damage. But anyway, as you can see, we're getting through the fight here. Definitely have to switch there when Corvus is doing his kind of like teleporting around attack right there when he's in iframe, just because that bleed damage gets out of control pretty quickly. And as you can see, that being able to move around with that channeling skill is extremely valuable for Stryfe here. It really, really helps his survivability. Because that's something with Cable, when you're doing these World Boss Ultimates and you're rooted in place, you die so quickly if you get pierced through your invincibility. So that is kind of a nice bonus for Stryfe here. And you would have cleared this a lot faster, but as you saw there, I had to switch quite a few times because I was just in a bad position when Corvus was using one of his pierce attacks. I was either in the middle of a skill animation or I wasn't able to move out of the way very conveniently or easily. So there we go, another clear that took pretty much the entire time, but like I said, he has good damage, just the survivability is lacking. And now we're moving on to Thanos here. We just have stage 9 here we're trying him out against. And even at stage 9, it was quite difficult for him, but as you can see, the team is a little bit different. We do have Iron Man in there instead of Valkyrie, so we are missing that super villain tier 2 passive buff. And have Iron Man here so that we can get onto stage 10, because Iron Man is the clear character for unlocking stage 10. So that's pretty much why he's in the team right here. And also because since we're only on stage 9 here for Thanos, I figured that he should have enough damage, but I was actually a little surprised at how long it was taking Stryfe to clear Thanos here, because most of Stryfe's damage is kind of pretty quick. So it's kind of, he has bursty skills, so pretty much as soon as you get that third skill off, you get a lot of your damage really quickly. And Thanos teleports and gets into iframe and interrupts your attacks a lot, probably the most out of any of the World Boss Ultimates. So I figured having that quick damage ramp up would be useful for fighting Thanos here, but going from the 5th and then the 4th and then the 2nd and then all the way to the 3rd skill, just getting to the 3rd skill, canceling all of the other 3 skills beforehand, actually eats up so much time that Thanos gets into his iframe. So it might even be better to just do like 4, 2, 3 and not even bother with the 5th skill and just kind of rely on the guard hit from the 3rd skill or something like that to just get your damage off really quickly. But anyway, as you can see here, we are slowly getting through Thanos. He only has 4 health bars left, so we are going to get through here. But yeah, just keep in mind, Stryfe is a fun character to use because I really like his skill animations. He does good bursty damage. You can move around while using his channeling skills. All of that's just really fun to use. I like the kind of color scheme of his skills as well, the black and kind of white. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped in giving you a look at Stryfe if you wanted to unlock him for yourself, if you wanted to kind of prioritize him over anyone else. Personally, I don't think he's really that high up on the list of characters that I'm going to be using premium materials on or bios to level up, just because he has one trick. He does a lot of damage, but his survivability is just not there, so that's why I'm a little underwhelmed with him. But let me know what you guys think about him, if I should be trying a different skill rotation, or if, I don't know, if you think he actually is a really powerful character in all aspects. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.